the children of the Chinese Benevolent Association. Thank you very much. Our guest of honor, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith. Your Excellency Niu Qingbao, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China. Dr. Peter Phillips, Leader of the Opposition. Ministers, President of the Senate, the Honorable Tom Tavares Finson. Speaker of the House, the Honorable Pernell Charles. Former Governor General Sir Kenneth Hall and Lady Hall. Former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga. Other members of Your Excellencies, heads of mission, other members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Consular Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As you may be aware, this is the 68th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. It's also the 45th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Jamaica and the People's Republic of China. Niu Qingbao, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, to bring greetings.
Thank you, MC. Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Trade and Foreign Affairs, and my guest of honor today, the Honorable Peter Phillips, Dr. Peter Phillips, Leader of the Opposition, Ministers, President of the Senate, Senator Tom Finson, Speaker of the House, the Honorable Mr. Charles, former Governor General, Mr. and Mrs. Hall, former Prime Minister, Mr. Seaga, my fellow ambassadors and consul generals of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, my fellow Chinese, ladies and gentlemen, representatives of the media, very good evening. Before talking about China-Jamaica, which is today's subject, let me extend, on behalf of the Chinese Embassy, our sincere condolences and sympathies to the victims and the families during the devastating natural disasters in this region. We wish speedy recovery in Mexico, Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, and other countries severely struck by earthquakes and hurricanes. We wish the people a peaceful and normal life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by thanking you for joining my wife and myself to celebrate the 68th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. I wish to take this opportunity to heartily congratulate Jamaica for her 55th anniversary of independence. Happy 55th. May I also remind you that this is the 45th year of China-Jamaica diplomatic relations. So happy 45th to us all. Well, this 45th anniversary is the subject of another event later this year. So today, let me focus on China, Jamaica this year, 2017. 2017 has been an eventful year. It has been eventful for China. Many events that took place and that will take place in China have global impact. There are so many. I can't cover all of them, so let me name only a few. First, in early March, the National People's Congress endorsed the government work report that set economic goals for this year. A GDP growth rate of around 6.5%, 11 million jobs created to keep urban unemployment rate below 4.5%, CPI kept at 3%, and all these are to be accomplished while unit GDP energy consumption is reduced by 3.4%. That requires reduction of steel and iron production by 50 million tons and coal by 150 million tons. China has delivered more than expected. The first 6 months recorded a GDP growth of 6.9% and the creation of 7.35 million jobs, which is 2/3 of this year's mission accomplished. I don't have the statistics of coal and steel production, but if history is of any reference, last year we aimed to reduce steel and iron production by 45 million tons, but we actually reduced it by 65 million. We aimed to reduce coal production by 250 million tons last year, and finally we did 290 million. Second, in mid-May, the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation was successfully convened in Beijing. Attended by 29 heads of countries and head of state and government and 1,600 representatives from more than 140 countries and 80+ international organizations. The forum ushered in a new stage of translating the Belt and Road Initiative from vision to action and from planning to implementation. President Xi Jinping elaborated China's wishes to build the road and belt into a road of peace, prosperity, openness, innovation, and civilization. He committed China to conducting friendly cooperation with all participants of the Belt and Road Initiative, loans of 380 billion RMB for infrastructure, production, and financial cooperation with BNR participants. Grants of 60 billion RMB will be supplied in the next 3 years to support projects in the area of people's livelihood in developing countries that partner with China on Belt and Road Initiative. And we are very happy to see that Jamaica is one of China's partners on this project. Belt and Road Initiative is President Xi Jinping's brainchild, but China has no intention to use this as a tool to advance any geopolitical agenda. According to President Xi himself, the BNR is a platform for practical cooperation. It is an initiative for interconnected development which calls for extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits, and helps achieve win-win cooperation for all participants. It will create new opportunities for implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Third, in early September, the BRICS summit in Xiamen had global significance as well. As a cooperation platform with global influence, BRICS cooperation is more than just 5 member countries. It carries the expectations of emerging markets and developing countries, and indeed the international community. During the summit, China held the dialogue of emerging markets and developing countries. Leaders of BRICS countries, plus Egypt, Mexico, Thailand, Tajikistan, and Guinea, discussed together the undertakings of international development cooperation, urged to establish extensive development partnerships, and speed up the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and sent out a strong signal of deepening South-South cooperation and global development cooperation. The fourth is forthcoming, namely the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China from October the 18th. Coinciding with the decisive stage of China's drive to build a moderately prosperous society in all aspects, the coming 19th CPC National Congress will draw the blueprint for development of CPC and China in the next 5 years or more. It will also provide answers on such issues as how China will further conduct international cooperation and make its due contribution to world peace, stability, and prosperity. It is a significant event in the political life of the party and of China, and therefore of the world. 2017 has been an eventful year in China-Jamaica relations. Our two countries have frequent and active visits and exchanges at various levels and areas. There have been 3 ministerial visits either way, and Minister Montague of National Security is still on his way back to Jamaica after his visit to China. Earlier this year, Mr. Ning Jizhe, Vice Chairman of National Development and Reform Commission, visited China and signed a bilateral agreement on production capacity cooperation. Last week, Mr. Zhi Shuping, Minister of AQSIQ, visited and signed a few agreements to allow for Jamaican exports of seafood to China. Most important among all incoming visits this year, Mr. Yang Jiechi, State Councilor, paid an official visit to Jamaica on September the 11th. He had paid a courtesy call on His Excellency the Most Honorable Patrick Allen, Governor General, and had very friendly and fruitful meetings with Prime Minister Holness and Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Phillips. Economic cooperation is ever expanding, and private alike. They are hiring and training more Jamaican workers than ever. Our trade will be more balanced with Jamaican seafood exports starting soon. And Jamaican fishermen will have to work hard to satisfy China's demands for Jamaican lobsters. China continues to provide assistance wherever possible. Construction of the office building of the Foreign Ministry is proceeding as planned. 2 kindergartens in Kingston and Morant Bay will hopefully be open to children in the next year. Preparation is underway for construction of the Western Children's Hospital to start next year. Our bilateral cooperation on human resources training is expanding faster than I expected. 500 plus of offers of short-term training in various fields have been taken this year, a big increase over last year's 260. Thank you. Sports and education. Minister Oliver Grange and I are working to have Chinese synchronized swimming and badminton coaches to come to Jamaica as a payback to Jamaica's generosity in training 10 Chinese coaches and students. Thank you. China offers to Jamaican students around 10 university scholarships in various subjects every year, and China is genuinely thankful that Jamaica has kindly offered 10 scholarships at the Caribbean Maritime University. Talking about CMU, today is a big day for CMU. Happy Charter Day, CMU. Cultural exchanges are flourishing. 2 prominent Jamaican painters by the names of Peter Lewis and Brian McFarlane have workshops in China. Do you know that? Of course you know. More Chinese performing troupes are visiting Jamaica this year than ever. Today's performance, staged by Shenzhen Arts Troupe, a highly professional and accredited troupe from Shenzhen. By the way, Shenzhen is the ancestral home to many, many Chinese Jamaicans. And this troupe is especially sent by the Ministry of Culture of China for this occasion to entertain our guests tonight. Before enjoying their wonderful performance, let me say a special thank you to the sponsor of this troupe, Gisco Alpart. Gisco Alpart, thank you. Since last year, Gisco has invested a total of $500 million in the project of our part aluminum plant. Thanks to the successive governments, the JLP and the PNP, I've noticed that all ministers and the leader of opposition have paid personal visits to our part. Thank you. They started production in June after 8 long years of closure. I'm proud to disclose that the reopening of our part has created 730 full-time jobs in addition to more than 500 contracted jobs. Revived the local community. Thank you. I learned that GISCO took pleasure in contributing to the local communities by providing more than $80,000 in education, health, and agriculture. GISCO has so far been supporting more than 1,200 students, granting funds to some 30 schools in the effort to upgrade educational facilities and 28 schools in Essex Valley in their PE activities. GISCO is also partnering with community councils by offering such jobs as descaling, gardening, cleaning, and railway crossing guards in the range of about 350 persons on rotation, and has paid more than $1.40 million. By making good use of the resources it has, GISCO is also providing water supply for free to the local residents, schools, clinics, police stations, and fire departments. GISCO wants to be part of Jamaica, and I appeal to you to help GISCO better integrate and better serve Jamaica. To conclude, I propose a toast to the 68th birthday of the People's Republic of China, to the Jamaica-China friendly partnership, to the prosperity of Jamaica and well-being of Jamaican people, to the health of each and every of you. Cheers and ganbei.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now, our guest of honor this evening, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith.
Ambassador Liu Jingbao, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Dr. Peter Phillips, Leader of the Opposition, colleague ministers, President of the Senate, Honorable Tom Tavares Finson, Speaker of the House, Honorable Pernell Charles, former Governor General Sir Kenneth Hall and Lady Hall, former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, Your Excellencies, heads of mission and other members of the diplomatic corps, your worships, mayors of Kingston and Montego Bay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the Jamaican and Chinese family here today, good evening, and Wan Chang Hao. It is my great pleasure to join you this evening in the commemoration of the 68th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, and to also celebrate the remarkable achievements of the government and people of China in nation building. I'm especially pleased to bring warm greetings and best wishes on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, and extend to you, Ambassador, and your wife, Madame Yeonjun, and the staff of the embassy, warmest congratulations as you celebrate another milestone in your country's history. Historical records confirm that China is the world's largest continuous civilization, with one of the most complex but equally sophisticated cultures the world has known. This steady and continuous development over many centuries is characterized by strong ideals of political unity and social harmony that persisted even through centuries of turmoil. It is also characterized by a profound respect for nature, expressed in Chinese artistic and literary values and philosophy, together with a traditional concern for order and harmony in society, with emphasis on the welfare of human beings collectively rather than individually. We here in Jamaica are the beneficiaries of China's rich historical and cultural legacy, and we appreciate China's global and economic global economic and cultural power. The country's achievements span the gamut of human endeavor, from the arts, education, medicine, economics, and engineering to science and technology. Within the last 4 decades, China has sustained unprecedented economic growth that has transformed its ranking in the global economy, lifting more than 800 million people out of poverty. It is worth recalling that China achieved many of the MDG targets ahead of schedule, greatly contributing to the overall global performance of the Millennium Development Goals 2015. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as China continues to enjoy rapid economic growth under the very able leadership of President Xi Jinping, we anticipate that it will play an even more integral role in global and regional affairs. In particular, it is anticipated that the transformative Belt and Road Initiative will usher in a new era of globalization by creating a modern-day Silk Road that will connect markets across Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas. We're heartened that this initiative is also expected to contribute to the global implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And as our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, has stated, Jamaica views this initiative as a noble expression of not just the Chinese aspiration for development, but for the development of economies right across the world through a cooperative and inclusive strategy. I wish to assure the government and people of China, through you, Excellency, that Jamaica highly values our enduring friendship with China, which predates the formal establishment of our diplomatic relations by over 150 years when the first Chinese settlers arrived on their shores. Their integration into the fabric of Jamaican society, as reflected here today, gives credence to our national motto, out of many, one people. Excellency, we're particularly proud that this year our 2 countries are celebrating a milestone anniversary, the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Indeed, Jamaica, the first country in this region to establish diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China in 1972, has remained steadfast in our commitment to the One China policy over these 45 years. Importantly, our friendship has been securely anchored in our shared principles of sovereignty, non-interference in the internal affairs of states, and respect for territorial integrity. Indeed, over these 4.5 decades, Jamaica and China have forged a partnership which is being continuously strengthened through a dynamic and mutually beneficial economic and technical assistance program. Today, our relations are vibrant and productive, having expanded significantly to include new areas of collaboration and cooperation, including infrastructure development, capacity building through scholarships and training, as well as institutional and technological support. This includes the acquisition of Alpart last year by GISCO, the new loan agreement for US $326 million with the Exim Bank of China for the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, and the Western Children's Hospital project, of course. The visit early this year by Vice Chairman of the NRDC, His Excellency Mr. Ning Xingzhu, also contributed to the strengthening of our bonds of cooperation, as evidenced by the signing of a production framework agreement on production capacity and investment during his visit. I am also pleased that earlier this year, we had the honor of hosting His Excellency Yang Shichu, State Councillor of the People's Republic of China, on his recent official visit to Jamaica. Undoubtedly, during this 45th year of relations, the State Councillor's visit provided a most timely opportunity for our 2 countries to renew our commitment to continue building our strategic partnership. In the area of trade, we are moving to capitalize on the potentially lucrative seafood market in China through the planned export of Jamaican lobster and conch. We were pleased, therefore, to host His Excellency, Minister of General Administration of Quality Supervision, Inspection and Quarantine of China, who visited Jamaica last week to discuss ways to increase bilateral cooperation for import and export of agricultural products. A tangible outcome of this visit was the signing of an MOU on sanitary and phytosanitary measures on the export of Jamaican lobster to China. As a small developing country, dwarfed both in size and resources in relation to China, Jamaica is proud that we have been able to reciprocate this cooperation through the provision of scholarships to Chinese nationals at the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sports, as well as our world-class Caribbean Maritime University, duly inaugurated this afternoon. I take this opportunity to express on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica our deep appreciation for China's support to Jamaica over these many years. Ambassador New, we also thank you in particular for the constructive role that you have been playing and the enthusiasm that you have displayed in raising the profile of our bilateral relations. We know we can look forward in confidence to a future which brings even more fruitful engagement between our peoples, improved trade and investment, as well as heightened collaboration to advance the goals we have both set for Jamaica-China relations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in raising your glasses in a toast to the health and prosperity of the government and people of the People's Republic of China, and to the continued excellent relations between Jamaica and China. Kanpai. Kanpai. Jamaica and China.
My name is Romelda Akins, and I represent the Jamaica national netball team. I'm hardworking, disciplined, and dedicated. I don't need dope to cope, neither should you.
A message from the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture.
PBCJ is now the source of information about Indian culture. Watch Incredible India on PBCJ and learn more about their homeland, Indian mythology, religion, food, music, and dance. Join us Sundays at 3 p.m. and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. for Incredible India.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your eat.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
There are countless times where there has been an argument where I could have walked away, but I didn't. I didn't want to.
I left my responsibility on the shoulders of somebody else because it was just easier to walk away.
As a selector, I'm from the streets. In terms of degrading women to do certain stuff, that is not me. So when I see other DJs or selectors doing such things, that's a no-no.
The most disturbing thing I've ever seen from a man is child abuse and spousal abuse. Men who beat women and take advantage of children, whether emotionally or physically.
February the 24th, when my daughter was born, that was the day when I became a man and manned up. I throw away all childish behavior and just know say a man time.
When my son needed a real role model, I stepped up to the plate and show him that even though you make mistakes, you can move on and be a better person.
We have to start acting like men. There comes a time you gotta put away childish things.
Keep your pants up to your waist, because you're role models to the younger ones.
An example that I think grown men should set for young men my age is being respectful to others.
Respect others, you'll get back respect.
Character and his personality. From the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread. A real man work hard for what he want. A real man a scam people.
A real man is anybody who cares for his family and his friends.
A real man knows when it's time to man up and do better.
Man up. Let's create a safer Jamaica.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's give a warm Jamaican welcome to the Shenzhen Arts Company. Let's hear it one more time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And please welcome my co-host this evening, Leanne Chen. She was just saying, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You would have noticed in that traditional dance, elements such as the red silk, the paper umbrella, and the handkerchief all incorporated into the dance, presenting a performance pleasing to the eyes. Another round of applause, please, for the Shenzhen performance. Our next item is new concept acrobatics, dream chasing, spacewalk.
下面请欣赏创新型杂技《太空漫步》，请欣赏。
Exhale. Let's continue. Next up, the ensemble doing horse racing. Horse racing reflects the fierce competition of the Mongolian people during the festival. The melody is brisk and with a unique style and a lot of passion.
下面请欣赏器乐合奏《赛马》。
And now the next piece is entitled accordion. Well, it's a combination of instruments, the accordion, the violin, and the piano. It's a piece entitled Spring, composed by Piazzolla.
接下来您将欣赏到的是手风琴、小提琴、钢琴三重奏作品《春》。
Tourism. It is the hottest Jamaican product and among the best in the world. It is the largest earner of foreign exchange, helping to pay for items we have to import and use daily.
Fact. Tourism provides jobs for thousands, creates more opportunities for local businesses, and maintains some of the sweetest spots in Jamaica.
In other words, it is a pie we all partake of. So take care of tourism. Tourism takes care of us.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment.
When the devil knock you down and knock the living breath out of you and you ain't got nothing else to do but to get down on the floor and say, God, I call upon your name today. If you don't help me, God, help.
Stand in God's power with Henry Fernandez this and every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. with a repeat at 8 p.m. on PBCJ.
So he said, let there be light. And all of a sudden, whatever he said, light. Oh, I dare you to open your mouth and whatever you want out of life, open your mouth and say it. Say it. Say it. And it will be so. Somebody ought to give God praise in here.
Follow God's plan for your life with the teachings of Henry Fernandez, Sunday morning at 7:30 with a repeat the same evening at 8 p.m. Only on PBCJ, the People's Station.
Jamaica, lush, beautiful tropical island.
Warm, loving, hard-working people.
Renowned international achievements.
Yet daunted by corruption, poverty, crime, and violence.
Realizing the need for better governance, transparency, and accountability in our affairs, National Integrity Action (NIA) was was launched to combat corruption and build integrity in Jamaica.
Non-partisan, balanced and fair, NIA has embarked on a broad program to help build a movement for integrity.
Persistently pushing Parliament to pass crucial anti-corruption laws.
Training public officials, working in communities among students and the youth. The Governor General's I Believe program.
NIA is expanding, now a membership organization.
Jamaica can curb corruption, but more hands are needed. Join NIA today. Let us together make Jamaica the place of choice to live, to work, to raise families, and to do business.
Revelation. We found ourselves traveling through the accents of music.
The Chinese Mongolian nationality has a long history and is good at singing and dancing. It is praised as people on the horse. Their dances are strong, vigorous, and ferocious, demonstrating the simplicity and passion of the Mongolian people.
下面请欣赏蒙古族舞蹈《草原茫茫》。
Thank you very much.
感谢他们精彩的表演。
Next up, magic. Using the simplest props and the most popular magic style, the performance presents a strong visual impact and a thrilling experience from the cut cross of an object to the cut cross of a man.
魔术是观众朋友们喜闻乐见的节目，下面请欣赏魔术穿越。
I swore I'd never hit a woman. That's my father's thing, and I wasn't going to be anything like him. But then I'd get so angry. I never ever meant to hurt her.
I never knew how to stand up for myself or deal with his anger, so we got trapped in the cycle. So I spoke with the counselor, and he stepped in, and he helped us both to work on our personal issues. And now, we're working to repair our relationship.
If you're a victim of domestic abuse, get help. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
PBCJ is now the source of information about Indian culture. Watch Incredible India on PBCJ and learn more about their homeland, Indian mythology, religion, food, music, and dance. Join us Sundays at 3 p.m. and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. for Incredible India.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep we
eat.
island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
A combination of Arhu and dance, entitled Caprice at Artwang Spring.
下面请欣赏二胡与舞蹈《二泉遐想》。
Enjoy. Next item on the program, acrobatics. Balancing on a single hand. Balancing on a single hand is developed from acrobatics' fundamental skill. The skill shows a sense of tenderness when combined with other movements, which are always a crowd favorite. Mature performance and music full of Oriental charm.
请欣赏杂技表演单手顶。
Our next performance will feature the violin and zither, entitled Song of the Returning Fishing Boats at Sunset.
接下来给大家带来的是古筝、小提琴二重奏，渔舟唱晚，请欣赏。
Enjoy.
If you have information about illegal guns, call 311. Get the Guns, an initiative of the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
You can accomplish what you will.
Jamaica to the world!
The greatest benchmark of a country is its commitment to serving its people. The arm that extends to support, the smile that offers hope. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force are dedicated to protecting the nation's vulnerable groups, assisting the elderly in whatever way they can, losing themselves in the moment of reaching out to others. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force reassure with dignity and pride, bringing stories alive in the eyes of a child. Police officers stand out in the crowd. Even a child seeks the love and care a police officer bestows.
For little people, it's a really big world. A big world to discover and explore. And because discoveries aren't always easy to understand, little people need help to make sense of the big world. So help them make sense of the world. When you CPG, do PG. The Broadcasting Commission, your partner for a new day.
接下来我要给大家带来的是哈萨克民族的歌曲民歌《马伊拉变奏曲》，送给大家。Thank you.
你手心四面上绣满了玫瑰花，等待我的情人檀香都不老。年轻的哈萨克来到我的家。谁的歌声来和我比较？谁的歌声来和我比较？来往人们挤在我的屋檐底下，来啦来啦，哈啦啦咕啦咿啦啦咿啦，哈啦啦咕啦咿啦呀啦，啦啦啦。
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my ensemble here. For the next performance, I will sing a really famous song for you guys. And I think you must know this song really well. So if you know how to sing this song, please sing along with me. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, let's sing praise to the Lord and never feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let them all past on Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So Jamaica has given the world reggae. Jamaica has given the world Rastafarianism.
Yeah.
Jamaica has given the world the word Irie. Now, after listening to your performance, I could only think of a word like Chairi.
Chairi.
Yeah, combination, part of China, chai. Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chairi. So that was a Chairi performance.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the final performance this evening, the final act, is a dance, Kam's Spring. It's a Chinese-Tibetan dance, and it's quite spectacular. Enjoy.
最后，让我们一起来欣赏舞蹈《康巴春天》。
草原的风。
Hi, I'm Christelle Tomlinson, and I endorse WMW's How Her